My first guest is the Rajya Sabha MP of the Shiv Sena, that's the Shiv Sena Shinde group, Milind Deora, who's on the road joining me at the moment. Milind Deora, appreciate your joining us. I have before me an ad which your Mahayuti has put out in all the Mumbai papers. तुमच्या मताने कुठे जल्लोष व्हायला हवा आहे भारतात की पाकिस्तानात, effectively saying your vote, do you want it to lead to celebrations in Pakistan or India? Is this the kind of campaign? Is this the kind of new India campaign that you want to build, Milind Deora?
Okay, well, firstly, thank you for having me. You're right, I am on the road on a very important infrastructure project in Mumbai city. My network may be sporadic, so please, I would request you not to interrupt me and to allow me to speak. In your opening statements, you said that the NDA spoke about a campaign of Viksit Bharat. Let me ask you a question. Is national security not essential and an integral element of taking India to the next stage? And to equate what is happening between India and its hostile neighbors with a Hindu-Muslim narrative, Rajdeep, is extremely unfortunate for the media or for the opposition.
No, please tell me what, Mr. Milind Deora, Sean of the Sophistry, tell me what does this ad mean? Are you telling me your former party is pro-Pakistan and anti-Hindu? I want a straight answer. What is this ad? This ad is fear-mongering, isn't it? That if I vote for the Congress party, I'm being pro-Pakistan.
I told you not to interrupt me.
No, I am asking you a straight question.
I will answer your question.
Please do.
There is over time, and I say unfortunately because I was a member of that party and I tried to improve things from within, a growing perception that Congress stands on the wrong side of issues that matter to India. You yourself said that Congress isn't helping its case. Let me give you a few examples. I was an MP from South Mumbai in 2008 when 26/11 happened here. When I saw the anguish, the suffering, the death, the terror that people had to endure in this constituency. I worked very closely with Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was the Prime Minister at the time, and the intention of the government of India, the law enforcement agencies, was to tell the world, the United Nations, that Pakistan is behind this. By the way, Pakistan themselves admitted that 26/11 was their own doing. We caught Ajmal Kasab. He was tried in a court of law and he was sentenced to death. What was a statement by Congress leaders soon after that terror attack? Congress leaders released a book which diverted attention away from Pakistan and blamed one particular religion for that terror attack. They blamed the Hindu community for that terror attack. Who made it a Hindu-Muslim issue in the first place? Why were Congress leaders at the time, when the country and their own government attacking Pakistan, trying to hold them accountable internationally?
Sir, you were Mr. Deora.
One second.
You were in the Congress at the time. Mr. Deora, you were the South Mumbai MP at the time. Are you saying the individual opinions of a few Congress leaders attending a book release meant that the Congress was backing Pakistan? And if it was what did you do about it? What did you do about it, sir?
Let me complete. What I did, I spoke internally within internal forums. What did you do about it as a journalist? Did you raise questions?
Of course we did.
Did you ask those people that it was a wrong statement for them to make?
We raised questions with the likes of Digvijay Singh at the time, sir. I've been very clear about it. Sir, I want to tell you one thing, sir, just for your knowledge. A college friend of mine was with Hemant Karkare. He was another top cop. Ashok Kamte was there, who was also shot dead. So we know friends, your friends as well, who died. So I'm not going to blame. I'm the last person who's going to give Pakistan a clean chit on 26/11.
But I can tell you something that my father and I, who have represented Mumbai for the last 45 years, we were both appalled at that book launch. We were appalled at that release. I know what the Prime Minister at the time, what his views on that were. That's another issue. Maybe I'll leave that for my memoirs whenever that's released. A few days ago, let me complete. A few days ago, the leader of opposition of the Maharashtra Assembly, a congressman, made a statement saying that, sorry, I got a call. He made a statement saying that the bullet that killed Hemant Karkare, who's a martyr, who was martyred on 26/11 in my constituency, was not a Pakistani bullet, but a bullet again of RSS and of the Hindu community. So who is making this issue about India and Pakistan, about Hindu and Muslims? Number one. Number two, let me make a larger point. This is for the Congress to reflect on. This is something that people like us tried to change within the party. I'll give you another third, smaller example. When the Galwan conflict was underway and India was battling China, and we were doing so diplomatically, we were holding our ground. At the time, it was a small but a significant move. TikTok, which is an app which young people use, it's one of the most popular apps in the world. India was the first country to ban TikTok for security reasons, for economic reasons. I welcomed that ban at the time, saying it's good for India. We must come together, regardless of which party we're from. We must support the government of the day when a neighbor is being hostile towards us. The Congress at the time trolled me. They trolled the government, saying that what kind of random thing is this, banning TikTok? It's insignificant. Why should we do that? When it's a Chinese-owned app. Today, by the way, the world over, including the United States last week, the Federal Communications Commission of the US, which is like the IT Ministry of the United States, the chairman of the FCC, like the IT Minister of America, made a statement saying, we are following India's example when analyzing and assessing how to ban TikTok. Obviously, it will raise an issue and raise a debate and a doubt in people's minds as to why is it that a party that has a great legacy, mind you, is suddenly now on the wrong side of India. When a neighbor is being hostile towards India and the Indian government,
Mr. Deora,
mind you, Rajdeep Sardesai, transcends which party is in power. Indian government transcends prime ministers. Indian government transcends politics.
I take your point, but this, Mr. Deora, in conclusion, but this ad certainly doesn't. The point I'm making, Mr. Deora, your party seems to have decided in Maharashtra we have to go back to Hindu-Muslim politics. You're telling me that there is no Hindu-Muslim angle, but when you say tumcha matane kuthe jallosh vaila hawa ahe, that's like suggesting that if the opposition wins, there'll be crackers in Pakistan. Many will say actually that quite the contrary. There will be those on the other side who might welcome even Mr. Modi coming back. So, I mean, is this the kind of campaign you want to win an election on is all I'm asking.
Okay, let me ask you now. Have you asked the Congress party, is this the kind of campaign they want to win an election on?
I will be asking them that too.
No, when the leader of opposition of the Congress, for no reason, nobody is being provoked or prompted to do this. When the leader of opposition, a man who holds a constitutional post of the Maharashtra Assembly, makes a statement that 2611 was not the doing of Pakistan, but the doing of a Hindu group, is that not provocative? Is that not bringing in the debate, lowering the debate and giving Pakistan a clean sheet? Naturally, if a party or if individuals and responsible individuals in that party are trying to give Pakistan a clean sheet on the eve of elections, doesn't it raise questions? Doesn't it bother you as a Mumbaiker?
It does, and the statements of an individual need not. A statement of an individual need not always reflect that of his party. I'm sure you know that as someone who's been in the Congress for so many years.
Rajdeep, even if I was in the Congress, I would have been appalled at that statement, as I was appalled after 2611 when leaders released a book trying to give a clean sheet to Pakistan. These are issues which matter in any election. By the way, these are not fringe issues. These are issues that matter. National security is an important issue for India to grow economically. Having the right foreign policy, having the right national security policy is absolutely critical for our country to go forward.
Okay, let me leave it there. Let me leave it there, Milind Deora.
Any political party, that any political party that or any leader that is making a statement that is giving our enemies a clean sheet will naturally be questioned in the due course of a campaign.
Okay,
fair enough. How can you not expect that to happen? Okay. What should the government say? Well done to the leader of opposition. Well done to others. I'm glad you're supporting China and Pakistan. We should not make this an issue. Which country would that be the case?
Okay.
In any country in the world, I'm sorry to correct you, but any country in the world, the politicians during an election, the media would naturally make that an electoral issue. It would be a massive national security issue, which has massive ramifications on our economic growth and prosperity, on our security, on our safety. So naturally, this is something which the government of the day, in response to what opposition leaders are saying, will have to make this an issue.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Milind Deora, let me leave it there. You're on the road. You've made your points, and you've told us where you stand. I appreciate you joining us. Milind Deora joining us there, saying this is natural for a political party to respond to what the opposition has said or not said.